السلام عليكم. صباح الخير للجميع. His Excellency Minister Hamish Faulkner, Minister of State for the Middle East and North Africa at the FCDO. His Excellency Ambassador Ivan Martinez of Honduras, the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps in London. His Excellency Ambassador Sheikh Fawaz bin Mohammed Al Khalifa of the Kingdom of Bahrain, the Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, the Arab Diplomatic Corps in London. My good friend, His Excellency the First Minister of Scotland, and ministers from Northern Ireland and Wales, government representatives and senior officials, my dear colleagues and friends, ambassadors. And I learned that we have ambassadors from more than 60 embassies today, honourable members of Parliament, mayors and councillors, dignitaries, community leaders, friends and allies, and my fellow Palestinians here with us today. Good morning. Good morning. Good, beautiful morning. On behalf of the Palestinian President and people, I'd like to begin by welcoming you all to this very special occasion. We are gathered today in front of the Palestinian mission to the UK, here in London, to mark a historic moment. In the same capital of the Balfour Declaration, after more than a century of ongoing denial, dispossession and erasure, the UK government has finally taken the long overdue step of recognizing the state of Palestine. Very soon, pending some legal work, some bureaucratic work with the minister and the government, this plaque, which reads, "The Embassy of the State of Palestine," the Embassy of the State of Palestine, will be placed right behind me in this building. This moment is not only about Palestine. It is also about Britain and the British government's solemn responsibility. It is about ending the denial of the Palestinian people's inalienable right to freedom and self-determination. And it is an acknowledgement of a historic injustice. Ladies and gentlemen, Palestine exists. It has always existed, and it always will. Palestine will always exist in the hearts of our people and the millions of loving people in the world. This recognition is not about affirming what we already know. It is about righting historic wrongs and committing together to a future based on freedom, dignity, and fundamental human rights. Now, while we welcome this decision and acknowledge the gravity of this moment, we must remember that this recognition comes at a time of unimaginable pain and suffering, as a genocide is being waged against us, a genocide that is still being denied and allowed to continue with impunity. It comes as our people in Gaza are being starved, bombed, and buried under the rubble of their homes, as our people in the West Bank are being ethnically cleansed brutalized by daily state-sponsored terrorism, land theft, and suffocating oppression. It comes as the humanity of the Palestinian people is still questioned, our lives still treated as disposable, and our basic freedoms still denied. And yet, this moment stands as a defiant act of truth, a refusal to let genocide be the final word, a refusal to accept that occupation is permanent, a refusal to be erased, and a refusal to be dehumanized. Ladies and gentlemen, international recognition is more than just a diplomatic gesture. It is an acknowledgement that Palestine has always been a land with a people. And what a people. And what a people. Rooted in history, proud traditions, and unshakable resolve. A people whose resilience and courage is unmatched. A people who are not only on the defense, resisting erasure, but who are also on the offense, building a future. We are not merely surviving, we are preparing for our inevitable liberation. We are preparing to thrive. As farmers, as teachers, builders, and healers, to understand our culture, my friend, to understand our heritage, you need not look further than our love of education, the key to a bright and promising future. The Palestinian commitment to learning and excelling is embedded in our DNA. Look around you in this very crowd. You will see amongst the Palestinian community with us today some of the very top doctors, entrepreneurs, academics, artists, authors, executives, innovators, and workers across all fields in the UK. As we speak, literally, as we speak, 34 students are arriving from Gaza to the UK on prestigious, extremely competitive scholarships. Can you begin to imagine what it took for them and their families and communities to achieve this? To study and take exams and fill out applications in the throes of genocide, under bombs, without electricity, and on empty stomachs. And they still made it to their universities, and they will be there today. These are the Palestinian people. This is the Palestinian spirit. This is the spirit of Palestine. As our beloved national poet Mahmoud Darwish said, على هذه الأرض ما يستحق الحياة. على هذه الأرض سيدة الأرض أم البدايات أم النهايات كانت تسمى فلسطين صارت تسمى فلسطين سيدتي أستحق لأنك سيدتي أستحق الحياة. On this land there are reasons to live. This land, the Lady of Lands, the motherland of beginnings, the motherland of all ends. She was born and she was known as Palestine. She forevermore will be known as Palestine. My land, my lady, you are a reason. You are a reason to live. Friends, today does not mark the end of our struggle. Far from it. It is not the end of the road, but another step on our long march towards justice, liberation, and sovereignty. It is about the fulfillment of the fundamental rights of our people. Freedom, equality, and a just resolution for Palestinian refugees in accordance with international law. So today, let the work begin. Let us treat this moment not as a destination, but as the beginning of the next chapter in our journey. Let us treat this moment as a call to action, to stop the genocide and the ethnic cleansing, to lift the siege and to end the occupation, to hold the aggressors accountable using every means possible under the law, including comprehensive sanctions and full arms embargo. Ladies and gentlemen, this, my friends, would not have been possible without every single one of you. And I know how every one of you have been working towards this moment, not only in the last months, or even years, but for decades. So to the people of Britain, to the great people of Britain, the millions who have been marching in the streets week after week, month after month, who turned London into the epicenter movement for Palestine, to Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, who chose principles over politics, to the unions, the students, the faith leaders. We will always remember how you stood by our side. In Gaza, in Jerusalem, in Jenin, in the refugee camps, in exile, and across the diaspora. This moment belongs to you. It is the fruit of more than 100 years of steadfastness, sumud, of sacrifice, of love of our land. It is because of you that the world can no longer deny our existence. It is because of you that the state of Palestine has been recognized. And it is on your shoulders and the shoulders of our ancestors that it will rise, free, proud, and prosperous. And now, please join me as we raise the flag of Palestine, and with its colors representing our nation, black for our mourning, white for our hope, green for our land, and red for the sacrifices of our people. We raise it in honor of the long journey of the Palestinian people towards freedom and justice, and in honor of the millions of freedom-loving people in Britain and around the world. We raise it as a pledge. We raise it as a pledge that Palestine will live, Palestine will rise, and Palestine will be free. Thank you.
Mubarak brother. Mubarak brother.
Thank you, Excellency, for those powerful words. Now, I'm delighted to welcome His Excellency Minister Hamish Faulkner, Minister of State for the Middle East and North Africa, to share his reflection on this historic recognition.
Thank you, Ambassador. Thank you to everybody for coming. It is such a pleasure to join friends from around the world. It is a pleasure to join friends from around the world, so many members of the Diplomatic Corps, the Dean, both of the Arab ambassadors, and of course the whole Diplomatic Corps. Yesterday, alongside more than 145 nations, in partnership with key allies, the Prime Minister formally recognised the State of Palestine as sovereign and independent. I repeat that message to you today. This is a landmark decision. It reflects the UK's enduring support for the Palestinian people's right to self-determination. Together with our partners, it sends a clear message. Lasting peace and security for Palestinians and Israelis depends on a two-state solution and Palestinian statehood. This is not only an endorsement of the vision of two states. It is a rejection of extremist ideas on both sides, fancies of the destruction of the State of Israel or the expulsion of the Palestinian people. The concept of two states living side by side is at risk of being destroyed by appalling violence and hunger, by the relentless expansion of settlements and attacks in the West Bank. Despite the strongest demands of the UK and many others, the Israeli government has plunged deeper into a war that has claimed tens of thousands of lives and pushed Gaza into famine. This conflict can never be solved by force. The restrictions on aid are indefensible. Children are starving. Our aid is piling up. I have seen it myself in warehouses in Al Arish. Hamas continues to hold hostages in appalling conditions, and the suffering of families on all sides continues to be prolonged. These actions do not serve the cause of justice. Let me be clear. Recognition is not abandoning our support for Israel. Palestinian statehood can open new relationships, regional cooperation, normalisation, and peaceful coexistence. That is impossible, though, while the horrors in Gaza continue, and while even the idea of a Palestinian state is rejected by the Israeli government. So our recognition is not just symbolic. It is a clear statement of intent. It's a statement of principle, and it is alongside the majority of the world, including France, Canada, and Australia. We made our announcement yesterday, as Hassam has said, with the hand of history on our shoulder. I know our past in the region. It stretches back to 1917 and beyond. It gives us a special responsibility, both to support Palestinian rights and to support a two-state solution. The Balfour Declaration came with the promise that nothing shall be done, nothing which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of the Palestinian people. That has not been upheld. Yesterday's announcement cements this Labour government's long-standing commitment to the rights of the Palestinian people, to ensuring equal rights and equal esteem between Palestinians and Israelis. I'm proud to reiterate that commitment today and stress that the UK will lend its full support to the Palestinian Authority as it continues to build an effective, reformed and unified state. I look forward to deepening our partnership as we establish diplomatic relations and strengthen cooperation. This is a relationship defined by ties that bind peoples, mutual interest and a shared vision for a peaceful and prosperous future. I know that this is a moment of suffering for the Palestinians. I know that recognition comes amid great pain and great personal loss. I know that recognition alone will not end the war or remove the indignities of occupation. The Palestinians face this every day: violence, hunger, displacement, crippling financial and movement restrictions. But our wish is that our decision can offer hope, that it can create momentum for real progress, a vital part of a broader push for a just and lasting peace. We need a ceasefire now. We need hostages released. We need Hamas disarmed. We need the barriers lifted so aid can reach those in desperate need. And we need a path to a long-term peace. As Minister for the Middle East, I'm determined to keep pushing for a future beyond this crisis, for a future built on peace, security and hope. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. It is now my honor to invite His Excellency Juan Romero Martini, Ambassador of Honduras to the United Kingdom and Dean of the Diplomatic Corps in London.
Dear colleague, dear friend, authorities, brother and sister, Excellency, my brother, today is a historical moment in the history of this country and the history of the world. Palestine exists not only territorial, especially exists in our heart, in the heart of all humanity. Today, we are witness an historical moment for the decision of the United Kingdom to formal recognition of the State of Palestine. The humanitarian crisis in Gaza and the West Bank are reaching into the level. Lives have been lost, communities have been destroyed, and many have felt that the voice went unheard. A lot of dead children, women, old people. That is not tolerable. The decision is not the end of the journey. It's the beginning and has been accompanied for serious action of international community. We have to preserve the right of the exist. We have to preserve the human being life in that country. We have to protect the children, the women, and we have to promote the international support, the solidarity. Now the international community has spoken, and we want a free Palestine. Ambassador, friend, you can count with our solidarity. Every morning we pray for free Palestine. Every night we pray for free Palestine. And today you say good morning, and it's true, it's good morning, because the Palestine is still to be free. My dear friend, we, the diplomat, working for peace. And that's why we support the legitimate right to the Palestine to exist. We're working with peace. We want peace, but also we want the right recognition for the people of Palestine. Viva Palestina libre. Gracias.
Thank you, Excellency. I now have the pleasure of introducing the Right Honourable Kit Milthouse, MP, Chairman of the Conservative Middle East Council.
Thank you very much.
Using myself here.
Thank you very much. Your Excellencies, Minister, friends, ladies and gentlemen, as Chair of the Conservative Middle East Council, obviously welcome wholeheartedly this historic step today. It reflects a growing recognition across our political life that the Palestinian people cannot be left in limbo any longer, that their dignity, their identity and their right to self-determination must be acknowledged. For too long, Palestine has been denied recognition. The Palestinian people have endured decades of displacement, occupation, and the daily reality of being told their statehood is conditional, their rights uncertain, their future postponed. Recognition today is a small but vital correction of an historic injustice, a statement that Palestinians, like all peoples, are entitled to freedom, sovereignty and a place in the international community. But this act also sends a vital message that international law and international institutions still matter. For years, they have been neglected, ignored or dismissed. Too often, they have been applied with double standards, upheld in one place, disregarded in another. If peace is to be possible, then law must apply consistently, and the rules that govern us all must not be optional. As others have said, recognition, sadly, alone will not end this conflict. The path ahead remains difficult. Violence, suffering and mistrust will not disappear overnight. But recognition matters because it says clearly that peace cannot be built on denial. It gives strength to those who believe in negotiation and coexistence, and it signals that Britain will no longer look away from the rightful claims of the Palestinian people. As an opposition MP, I will continue to hold the government to its word that this decision is followed by real action, action to support institution building, to push for serious negotiations, to stand up for international law without double standards, and to encourage both peoples to live in security and freedom side by side. And finally, two things. First of all, I have to pay tribute to the ambassador himself, who has quietly patiently, logically and with humanity and intelligence made the case consistently throughout our Parliament and our country for recognition and the rights of his people. There could be no greater champion. Congratulations to you today, Ambassador. And then finally, to the Palestinian people, you have our respect, our support and our determination that your right to statehood must be matched with a future of peace. But most of all, we hear you and we see you. Thank you.
Thank you for such powerful remarks. We are also joined today by Dr. Victoria Rose, consultant, plastic surgeon, and a humanitarian advocate for health in Gaza and Palestine, who has tirelessly supported the right to life and dignity for our people. Please welcome Dr. Rose.
With each passing day, the healthcare system in Gaza deteriorates. Fewer and fewer international doctors are granted access at a time when there are increasing numbers of trauma civilians. The hospitals are failing due to lack of medical equipment and lack of fuel. Our Gazan healthcare colleagues are depleted and exhausted. Recognising the state of Palestine is a strong political statement, and it removes the contradiction in advocating for a two-state solution whilst only recognising one. However, we still have a lot to do to support our Palestinian colleagues, and we can't relax our efforts now. Thank you.
Finally, we will hear a testimony from Ruba Atallah, a young Palestinian woman from Gaza, who will share her reflection on what this moment means. Ruba?
Thank you, Marwan. Okay. Your Excellency, Ambassador Hissam Zomlot, distinguished ambassadors, members of Parliament, honoured guests, thank you for granting us this great opportunity to be together in such a moment of partial correction to a historic injustice called the Balfour Declaration. I stand here representing my people who are displaced within their own city, searching today for a home, for a wall to lean on in Gaza. While in the West Bank, families are forced to leave their houses to be replaced by settlers. I stand for them. I stand here for my grandparents and the 48 members of my family whose fate was to be killed in Gaza during the ongoing genocide, November 2023. I stand for them. I stand for the grandparents, the whole grandparents, who shared that fate, those who died or were killed before their dream was fulfilled. I stand for them. I believe my grandmother, Zainab, waited for the day when her grandchildren would speak more often of a Palestinian state than of the Balfour Declaration. And I am certain that she wanted this state to include Gaza with its beauty, not with its destruction. Exactly like I wanted this state during Zainab's existence. Poor Zainab. She was displaced from her original village in 1948, Herbia, to Gaza to live in a Shati refugee camp. There, she built a family and she planted a farm. And she created a life whose roots reach into future generations. How then could Zainab and all the ancestors of the Palestinian people hear their grandchildren today speak and celebrate of a Palestinian state without their existence? So late and so delayed, isn't it? Zainab gifted me this dress. It was one of the oldest shops in Gaza and sent it to me just a month before this genocide started. In her good faith, she believed the world would bring us joy, that we would need to dress in our finest to welcome it. Since then, Israel has left me in one only question. How could they kill Zainab and the hope that she poured into us in colors as bright as these? And yet, because we have become the people of incomplete happiness, I wore this dress today in hope of a moment of happiness worthy of our dream. It was never meant to be this difficult before the blood of our people was shed. It's too late, but we are on the way. The hardest part of my speech is my wish. It took me a long time to think about it. As a Palestinian from Gaza who has lost her family, I first thought that what I want is for Gaza to return to how it once was. Then I quickly realized that I truly want is my family to come back, so I may walk in Gaza with a heart full of light, not one dimmed by loss. I reflected on many details tied to my memory in Gaza, its music, its beach, and my friends. I thought of going to Nazareth, to Bethlehem, to celebrate the Christmas freely, not as a refugee. But if I have to one more hope now, in this current moment, only then it would be that the genocide to stop. And only after this, I can go back to my impossible wishes in the absence of those we love. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the close of our formal program. Yesterday's recognition is not the end of the journey, but the beginning of a new chapter, as Ambassador Hussam Zomlot just said, a chapter that must lead to concrete action, ending occupation, halting the ongoing genocide, and ensuring accountability and justice. On behalf of the Palestinian Mission, I thank you all for joining us in commemorating this historic day. Together, we will continue the work towards a free and prosperous state of Palestine. Thank you.
Yeah, tomorrow I think I'm going back. Okay.
Yes, I am.
Can we do it on the phone?
Big day, brother. Big day. Thank you, Doctor.
Welcome. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Your Excellency, you were brilliant as always.
Yeah, that's very kind.
Sharing such a moment in such time.
I'm so grateful for the invitation. Thank you so much for having me. I have.
Suzanne. She's the amazing lady. The one behind him. Always.
Ambassador's wife.
You are the boss. She's the boss.
Oh,
you are the man.
He's always the boss. I'm a follower.
Well done for everything. It must have been an incredibly tough time for you. I mean, you never saw it coming. I mean,
By the way, he shouldn't work. He's a great man. Remember, he's been to my house, but he didn't bring his wife. Next time, you should.
That shows you that I'm not the boss, right? That shows you that he's the boss.
you have to meet your dad as well. His dad is amazing. His dad's the character.
Definitely, that would be an honor for me.
There's many things to do, but it's...
Yes.